Welcome back to my blog series on sugar. So since I committed to not eating sugar leading up to the day of my wedding, it seems like everyone and everything has been like shoving it in my face. Has that ever happened to you? Like you wanted to just avoid something and then all of a sudden it's right there smack dab in your face all day, every day. I swear it has to do with God and the universe testing us to see if we can actually get through this. So it's been challenging, and today I will be sharing with you those challenges that I have had throughout these past 10 days and my self doubt and my habits. So, first off, I've been pretty much on the go on a daily basis. I've been moving, trying to get my classroom in place, getting some wedding stuff done. So, my biggest challenge has mainly been in the afternoons. So, in the morning, which I'm going to do right now in just a moment, I usually eat a large, healthy breakfast and a very filling snack in the morning. And so it's currently been like after lunch where it's been really tricky. That's been very challenging for me. So, for example, working in my classroom. So I'd go there like after lunch and I'd forget my snacks. Like who does that? Like pretty much everybody, right? You just forget to carry things in because you don't eat or you just, whatever. So fortunately, when I leave my classroom though, my house is right up the road. So there's no like stops in between. It's all residential, which has been very fortunate. However, because there's been no convenience or fast food stores, when I have done my running around for the wedding, or I've had some appointments that I've had to go into another town, I have had to pass the Dairy Queens, the McDonald's, the Burger Kings, the Circle K's, and all of that. So guess what's happened? Yes, I have forgotten my snacks in the afternoon, and it's been tough. Sometimes I just forget to eat and I realize about 3 o'clock I am starving, which is not a good thing, by the way. You don't want your body starving before you eat your next meal. That's why I make it a point to eat about every 2 hours. And it's actually good for your metabolism when you do that. So when I go too long, I'm stressing out going, oh my gosh, my metabolism is slowing down. It's not good for me. And I'm going to start grabbing something that's not good for me. So did I grab sugar? I'm going to let you know. What I started doing was just going to like Taco Bell because I figured, well, they don't have a dessert menu staring at you in the face like Dairy Queen. I have yet to lead up to Dairy Queen, having Sydney in the car with me. She's asked to do that, and I'm like, I just can't do that because I'm not sure I have the strength yet to go into Dairy Queen or do the drive-through and look at that huge, gigantic, separate menu board that's staring at me in the face while I'm hungry. Because I will bypass, a bag of apple slices for an ice cream easily. It's very easy for me to do. So I went to Taco Bell because I felt the desserts weren't staring at you in the face. I love, love, love those little Cinnabon things that they have. But instead I would get like some kind of a burrito. However, most of you might think, well, that's not too bad. Well, it is though, because my snacks, I focus on a healthy fat, a fruit, a veggie, and some seeds. And so when I have that burrito, there's a carb and a carb and a carb, maybe a little bit of protein, because that protein they have is not pure protein. They mix it in with things, so therefore it can become a carb. So that's been a tricky part. But also, what do most of us get on a weekly basis? Gas for our cars. So this is the other challenge. I would pull into a convenience store to get gas. I do still drink Diet Pop occasionally. That's a habit that I do have. So I'd go in and get a pop, but guess what's all over? Junk. There's candy, there's chips, there's chocolate, aisle after aisle after aisle after aisle. And of course, you have to pass them to get to your pop, and you have to pass them to get to the register. I really tried to give in, I'll be honest. I just wanted to grab a small candy bar. It's not that bad. It's not a big deal. I'll be okay. But there was a small little voice in the back of my head that told me not to do it. Even though I was trying to justify it. Has anybody ever justified that in their head before? Yeah, you get really good at it. But I heard that voice in the back of my head, and because during this challenge that I made for myself, I actually reminded myself on a daily basis what my goals were, and I even shared them a few times, so that voice was pretty strong in the back of my head. But it has been very difficult. I have been successful in the past by turning my nose up at any sugar or candy or dessert. People have seen that. I've talked about it. I've been very proud about that. But once you break a habit, it's hard to go back to it. So we have habits. Habits are hard. They can be hard to break, but you can do it. I did it. I was a carb and candy addict for many, many years, and I stopped that. So, but once you break them and you feel that success, you feel really good about yourself, and you can do it, and you know that you can do it. But I found that even if I give into my bad habits just even a little, all hell can break loose with me. Are you guys like that too? My head realizes that after I have the dessert, I'm not full. It doesn't fulfill my hunger. I feel like crap. Why did I have it? But I had it anyways, because it's a vicious cycle. It's that habit that you get into. So today is day 10 without sugar. Today is my wedding day, and yes, I will have some of that cake. What am I thinking with that? Wait a minute, April, you've gone 10 days without sugar. Why are you blowing it again? You just told us about breaking a habit again and all that. I guess I'm kind of testing my willpower, because I used to be able to do that. I used to be able to just have some sugar every now and again. Plus, it's my wedding day, right? There's a justification. But I remember that, too much sugar is going to be overwhelming to me, especially being without it for so many days. Your body doesn't react to it the same way. So if you can go through about 10 days without sugar and have that habit, you'd be surprised at what happens when you finally do have that sugar. So I'm gonna, expect that. So I may or may not eat that full piece of cake. I know that if I eat too much sugar, it really does hurt my teeth. Like, I don't have huge dental problems. That's not why. It just hurts my teeth because it's a lot of sugar. So I will allow myself a very small piece of wedding cake today, because I want to be able to have that limit. And what am I going to do after my wedding? Am I still going to continue this challenge? Yes, I am. I'm going to continue this challenge with myself, because I can obviously do it for 10 days. I can do it for longer. So I will continue to avoid sugar on a daily basis. I want to be strong enough to walk into Dairy Queen and say no, and look at that huge separate menu of desserts and say in my mind how horrible it is for my body when I'm trying to change my legacy. When I do not want to be overweight again. I do not want to get diabetes like my family members. I don't want to have an early heart attack at a young age, and that is how I can do it. I'm not going to justify myself and say, oh, it's just this once, because if you track your own just this once, it's not just this once, it becomes on a daily basis. So today at my wedding, I will concentrate on filling up on veggies and eating the sandwiches that have some protein in it, and I will have a very, very small slice of cake, but that is it, because I have goals for myself, and I'm not going to give up on myself and fail on myself. I'm a role model to my children, and I can do this, and so can you. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for joining me again. Bye.